Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. This is Coach Shalen with the Spiritual Freedom Academy, and I am so excited to talk to you today. And it is day 25 of our 31 Days of Wisdom Challenge. We have one more week left, including today. Uh, let's see. It's Saturday, January 25th. Hope you're doing well. I'm thinking I'm really just going to hop into it. I think I'll pray at the end today. But just so you know, in case it's your first time watching, what we're going to do, we're going to read Proverbs 25 in the KJV and the NIV. And the goal is to get as much engagement with this word as possible. We want to hear it. We want to see it in multiple ways to try to get the understanding, because sometimes you see it in one version and it makes so much sense. Sometimes you see it in another version and it makes even more sense. Sometimes it makes 0 sense, and then you see it in another version and it still makes 0 sense. So as we're going along, we want to ask the Lord to engage with us and open our eyes so we can see how He wants to see. But I really think I'm just going to kind of jump into today. I don't know what Proverbs 25 is about. I'm sure my spirit knows, but off the top of my head, I have no clue. So I will be learning at the same time you're learning, and whatever He's giving me is what you'll get. So today shall be very, very, very interesting. I know that much for sure. Before I start, I want to give honor to Coach E. This is her channel. We are Ministers of Reconciliation and Engagement, and this is with the Spiritual Freedom Academy. All of this to say, we are here to help you find freedom in Christ. We are here to bring you encouragement and let you know that you're not alone, that Jesus loves you very much, and that He's on your side in 2025. All right? So, yeah, I'm going to start. We're going to start. I'm going to share my screen, and it's going to look away first. Are you good? You're good? Cool. All right. Yeah, I never do this version. I prefer this one. Okay. So, this is Proverbs chapter 25. And to make it easy for you, if you ever want to do your own 31-day challenge, there's 31 days. There's 31 days in a month max. There's 31 chapters in Proverbs. So what you could do is you could read the corresponding day to the date every day. And the only month where you may miss a couple chapters would be February. So yeah. Okay. So chapter 25. These are also Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. So we already did the 30 sayings within this full book of wisdom. We have been introduced to wisdom. We know who she is. We know what she wants to give us. We know when she was born and created. We know that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. We know that the Lord is here and He wants to live inside of us. He wants to live with us. He wants to help guide us and direct us and keep us. We learned about taking care of ourselves and our lives and building us upright. We learned about our hearts and how important it is for us to do heart checks every now and then. Say, Lord, renew my mind and clean my heart and create me a right spirit, because I just want to be a right standing with you. We learned about our identities. We are kings. We are not foolish people. We do not cause sorrow. We bring joy and we cause people to rejoice, and people are blessed because we are there. We are kings. And then we got 30 sayings of wisdom, just like real life examples. All right. So now we're still going with more examples of wisdom. Okay. So verse 1, these are also Proverbs of Solomon, who was the wisest person to ever live, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. Right. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. So we're kings. So perfect example of this is your dreams. When you're dreaming, you're thinking, oh, that was just a dream. But then you read in Job where he's talking about how God seals instructions in your ears when you sleep in a dream and a vision, right? Or in Numbers, when he's talking about how God talks to people, and you saw Miriam and Aaron, and he'll say in dark speeches or visions, he'll speak to his prophets, right? So one of the ways God communicates is through your dreams. And so you think that they're just like pretty pictures, but when actuality, it's a language. So it's the glory of God to conceal it, right? But it's our honor to search it out and figure out, what are you saying, Lord? And the more you do that, the bigger of a relationship you build. And you may be wondering, well, Lord, why are you hiding it? Why are you making it a dark speech? Why go through all these hoops, right? Well, God is about relationships, right? But he wants, because he puts so much effort into you, he kind of wants you to put effort into him. It's no fun being in a relationship where you're the only one giving out, you're the only one who does anything. So it's the same way, right? So you're getting this relationship. He's giving you everything he has, but he wants you to also search him too. And so the more you're seeking him, the more you're realizing that there's more to him, the more you get dreams and you're like, this was so creative. And whoa, I didn't even think about that. And how could that possibly mean this, and this? How can a color possibly mean so many things? How can a number have so many meanings? Right? So you're building that relationship. So that's one of the reasons why it's your honor to search it out, because you're growing in your relationship with the Lord, right? So verse 2, it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, to see if they're going to seek me, see if they're going to try to come find me, right? But the honor of kings is to search out a matter. And if you think about it, there's a lot of scriptures where it talks about the Lord goes and finds you as well. So you're not the only one having to seek. Everybody's searching it in this case. Number 3, the heaven for height and the earth for depth and the heart of kings is unsearchable. All right. So this is interesting. So verse 2, it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. The heaven for height and the earth for depth and the heart of kings is unsearchable. Yet God is the one who knows the hearts too. So this is interesting. Take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel for the finer. Take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. I wonder what we're searching out specifically. I think this is still doing a heart check thing. Today's going to be interesting. Put not forth thyself, so this is verse 6, put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For better it is that it be said unto thee, come up hither, than that thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen. Right? Don't just bring yourself in front, right? It's better for you to be called, because then it's like they want you. Oh, this is still searching out. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. This is still searching out, because if you put yourself in front of that person, right, they take it for granted. But if they have to call you and you're not like easy to be found necessarily, right? And they're like, you have to come to me, then you're not elevating yourself, and they're not looking at you like you're high and mighty, but they're like, you're valuable. I want you. All right. That's why we're taking away the dross from the silver. Let's look up dross real quick. I have an idea of what it means. What is it actually? Dross. Okay. Something regarded as worthless or rubbish. So clean it up, I guess. Oh, okay, wait. Foreign matter, dregs, or mineral waste, in particular scum formed on the surface of molten metal. So remove the scum, remove the foreign materials from the silver, and you'll bring forth a finer vessel. Right? Take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. I think this is an identity one too. This is telling you how to move in wisdom. But let's keep going and see what else the Lord says. So verse 8. Go not forth hastily to strive, lest you know not what to do in the end thereof, when your neighbor puts you to shame. You still don't want to be hasty. Think it out, think it through. Take the time to actually clean up your silver and weed out the wicked, Debate your cause with your neighbor himself, and discover not a secret to another. Nope. We're going to read this one in NIV. Hopefully it'll make more sense. And if it's making sense to you, and you see that, like, I'm struggling with something, put it in the comments. Let me know. Right? As you learn, I'll learn, and as I learn, you'll learn. So let's help each other out. As the Lord is speaking to you, or He's speaking to me, put your stuff in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and get it in front of other people, because maybe they'll come with other wisdom and other interpretations, and then we can try to search out what the Lord is saying. Makes it more fun and more exciting if there's more people doing it. So debate your cause, verse 9, debate your cause with your neighbor himself, and discover not a secret to another. I want to say that's talking about gossip. Like, go to the person themselves instead of talking about it to someone else and then talking about it to someone else. Like, go figure it out. I want to say that's talking about gossip. Number 10, lest he that heareth it put thee to shame, and thine infamy turn not away. Infamy is like a bad reputation, ? Infamy, the state of being well known for some bad quality or deed, an evil wicked act. Ooh, I wonder if that's saying, go to the person and talk it out. They'd be like, hey, I heard this and this and this, right? Or did you do this and this? Instead of saying, they did this and they did that. So that it doesn't happen, so that it's not a situation where it's like the person comes and they're like, yo, you said it was like this, but really was this, this, and this. And now everyone's looking at you like, why are you spreading rumors? A word fitly spoken, number 11. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold and pictures of silver. It stands out. As an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so is a wise reprover upon an obedient ear. Right? Wisdom to someone who's going to listen. It's like something to really make you stand out, something to really accentuate your beauty, because that's what earrings do, is they take whatever's there and they accentuate it, right? So that's what makeup's supposed to do in general, right? But especially jewelry. I've noticed this with earrings or a necklace. It doesn't take much. You put an earring on, all of a sudden people are complimenting you. You didn't put makeup on, you just did earrings. It's like, wow, your cheekbones are really standing out today. It was like, what'd you do? Didn't do anything. I just put on an earring. But that's what jewelry is supposed to do. It's supposed to make certain features stand out and make you more pleasing, right? So as an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, like jewelry, or if you ornaments too, if you think about a Christmas tree, the tree is still the same tree, but you put on a little ball. It's like, wow, that tree is shining. So you really shine and stand out when it's wisdom going to someone who's going to listen to it. Right? So be someone who listens to wisdom. As the cold of verse 13, as the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to them that send him, for he refresheth the soul of his masters. A faithful messenger to them that send him refreshes the soul of his masters. And it's actually kind of how you are to Lord too, actually. Right? You're that nice snow. You're that first snow. You're refreshing. When you're obedient. This is still going with the obedience part, which is why it's a faithful messenger. Makes sense. Still going with obedience. All right. When you're obedient, the one who sends you or the one who you're listening to is like, 14, whoso boasteth himself of a false gift is like clouds and wind without rain. Right? You're just kind of full of fluff. There's no substance there. I can blow you away. In a couple seconds, you might not be there. Right? 15, by long forbearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone. Right? Patience. And a soft tongue breaks the bone. I wonder if that's saying speaking softly or words spoken do I say this? It's not always about being like punching people with your words, right? Like, it's not always about emphasizing, right? I'm still punching, right? I'm trying to show you what it's like. So it's not like, oh, you don't always need to emphasize. Sometimes you can say something calmly, gently, and that's enough to break that outer exterior that they have, right? Sometimes you play the long game and you keep talking, and that will help someone make the right decision. Now, sometimes, some people, you gotta punch them with your words, and it'll hit better. Some people don't respond well to soft, but there are other people who do respond to soft. So you need wisdom in how to interact with people. Verse 16, have you found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for you, lest you be filled therewith and vomit it. Don't overeat. Too much of anything is a bad thing. Withdraw your foot from your neighbor's house, lest he be weary of thee and so hate thee. No one likes people encroaching on their space. A man that beareth false witness against his neighbor is a maul, and a sword, and a sharp arrow. I think a maul is a weapon. I want to say all of these are weapons. I know what it means to be mauled. Maul. Yeah, it's a mallet. Or of an animal, wound a person or animal by scratching and tearing. All right. So a man that lies about someone else, you're a weapon, and you're a dangerous weapon too. But it's also told to look at 17 again. Withdraw your foot from your neighbor's house, lest he be weary of thee and so hate thee. I think we're going to go deeper into 17, so I want you to pay attention to 17. Okay, so in verse 19 now. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. When you put your faith in the wrong person, when you put your trust in someone who doesn't deserve it, and when the time comes for them to prove, that they were worth it, and they don't. Tooth pain is so bad. Oh my gosh, tooth pain is so bad. But a broken tooth, because that's nerves and or a foot out of joint. Oh, I don't know if you ever watch football or basketball. I don't know about other sports, probably soccer too. That would make sense. But there are injuries, and it's like, ooh, and it's painful to even watch. So you can imagine the pain that you're in when you're in it. So, word of advice, before you go trust somebody, before you go talk to somebody, maybe make sure the Lord's with you and ask the Lord, hey, is that someone I should be interacting with? Is this person going to lie to me? Is this person truthful? Agreed. It is so painful. So painful. All right. So verse 20, as he that taketh away a garment in cold weather, and as a vinegar upon nitre or nitra, so is he that singeth songs to this could go a couple of ways. Okay. So let's look up nitra or niter first to figure out how do you actually pronounce that word. Niter, potassium nitrate, especially as a natural occurring mineral. What is nitrate? A salt or nitric acid. Chemistry. Treat a substance with nitric acid, especially so as to introduce nitro groups. Oh, this is going to take us down a chemistry rabbit hole. Oh, no. Oh, sodium nitrate or potassium nitrate used as a fertilizer. So I'm assuming it's something that breaks down. I'm going to say it's something that breaks down. So verse 20. As someone who took away your coat or your clothes in the cold weather and you're sitting there freezing, like, why did you do that? And as vinegar upon something that's easily broken down or something that's hard and is being broken down, so is he that singeth songs to a heavy heart, right? The question is, are you talking about someone who's like really joyful and these are merry songs, and you're singing like happy ditties when someone is sitting there breaking down and crying and just hurting? Or are we talking about singing sad songs and to someone who's breaking down and hurting? All right. Or if maybe it's just songs in general. Like if you're singing angry songs and they have a heavy heart, it's like that's not gonna help either. Interesting. I want to see that one in NIV. That's gonna be interesting. So verse 21, if your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. And if he's thirsty, give him water to drink. For you shall heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward you. So not only are you helping that person, right? You're getting rewards. But that person is sitting there like, I hate when this person helps me. I do not like this person. Oh my gosh. So the best thing you can do for your enemies is to pray for them. The best thing you can do for your enemies is to pray for them. All right? If he's starving, you help him out. If he's struggling, you help him out. The sweetest revenge. Being nice. Being kind. And the Lord will reward you for that too. Because it's not easy to help those who hate you. It's not easy to help those you don't like. So the Lord's looking at you like, they have a heart. They have my heart. And it's like double. So you shouldn't do it to be vindictive, but like it's like the best of both worlds. It's so cool. So 23, the north wind drives away rain. So does an angry countenance a backbiting tongue. Typically, someone who looks like they're mad, you're not going to push that. If they already look irritated, look angry, not irritated, angry. They already look angry, because some people will push your buttons when you look irritated. But if you already look angry, you already look like you're one step away from punching somebody in the face. Typically, someone who usually will respond is probably going to stop themselves. The 24 is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman and in a wide house. So we're back to strife. Is you don't want strife. You don't want fights. In fact, when your enemy is hungry, you're supposed to feed them. So how much more should you not want to fight people? Right? 25 is cold waters to a thirsty soul. So is good news from a far country. This one is really teaching you how to interact with people, but specifically how to interact with people when they are in a certain emotion. So when they're sad, how to help them feel better. When they're angry, what not to do, what to do. All right, so we learned about our identity. We learned about how to walk in wisdom. This is still walking in wisdom, but this is interactions with people. All right, how to present yourself, how not to present yourself. All right, when to come to someone, when not to come to someone. What's that personal space? What's that boundary? 26. That is a 6. 26. A righteous man falling down before the wicked is a troubled fountain and a corrupt spring. It is not good to eat much honey, so for men to search their own glory is not glory. This is okay. So 20, we'll come back to 26. The Lord might just have to speak on that one, because that doesn't make sense to me. 27 though, that goes back to that goes back to this one. Okay. So what was 27? 27, it's not good to eat much honey. So remember, too much of anything is a bad thing. Oh, and that also connects to the false gift one too. Hold on. I lost it. It was one about a false gift and like boasting in your gift. Oh, I lost it. Oh, there it is. 14. Okay. 14, 27, and 6 and 7 all go together. So let's see if I can explain this in a way that makes sense. Holy Spirit, help me. Okay. So, boasting of yourself, never a good thing, right? And we're going back to where we started. because it's the honor of kings to search out a matter, right? Oh, we're going back. Oh, this is just tying everything together. All right. Um, but it's the glory of God to conceal it. All right. This is God in his essence. This is what makes, like, this is the shine, right? So if it's the glory of God to conceal something, the honor of kings to search it out, but it's not good for men to search their own glory, because that's not glory. This is something in your heart posture. Oh, there's something there. Uh, okay, I'm being told to just keep going and see if it comes out. Okay. I think I want to read it in NIV. I think it's going to make sense in NIV. I think all of this is all connected and really important, because now my eyes are on 25 again. Okay. So we're going to read 28 and then we're going to come back there. This one is such an interesting chapter because I see the connection points and I'm waiting for like the electricity to spark between them. So 28, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Dude, that connects so well with 27. We're gonna go to NIV. Dude, this is a deep chapter. You can tell. I literally see all of the connection points and I see the puzzle pieces. I'm just not sticking it in the right spot. It's like I have the border of it, but I don't have the inside. Or I have the inside, but I don't have the border. This sucks. Okay. So I'm going to read Proverbs 25, right? Still 25. We're going to read it in the NIV and see if we can actually get those connection points. Because we have it, we know what the weapon is, but we're trying to figure out how to put it together. Right? We see the puzzle. We have all the pieces. Now we need to make the pieces fit. And if it happens on stream, awesome. If it doesn't happen on stream, that's okay too. All right. Because either the Lord's going to minister to you after this, he's definitely going to minister to me about this afterwards, and it'll make sense. Or maybe when we read chapter 26 tomorrow, it'll make more sense. At some point, he's not going to let you just like leave this hanging. It's going to make sense. Like I can feel the itch in my brain. Like I can feel it. It's right there. It's so close. Dude. All right. So now we're going to read the NIV, see if we can make the puzzle pieces fit. These are more Proverbs of Solomon. 25. These are more Proverbs of Solomon compiled by the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah. Right? It is the glory of God to conceal a matter. To search out a matter is the glory of kings. Right? So God's glory, what makes God, or one of the things that makes God so awesome is when he conceals something. But one of the things that really makes us shine is when we figure out what God concealed. And that's literally what we're trying to do in this chapter. I see what you're doing here. That's funny. Like the first chapter that doesn't make sense. Well, it's his glory to conceal it. Obviously, there's something really deep and special and like precious about this chapter. And I get that because it's talking about us, because we're kings. And there's something really important here that the Lord is trying to say, but it's hidden. So join me on my treasure quest. Verse 3, or I'm going to reread verse 2. So it is the glory of God to conceal a matter. To search out a matter is the glory of kings. As the heavens are high and the earth is deep, so the hearts of kings are unsearchable. Are we talking about our hearts here? Are we talking about our hearts? Are we talking? Because, okay, so if you remember in chapter 16, I think chapter 16 is where we specifically talk about your heart and your treasure and making sure what's on the inside is right. The hearts of kings are as unsearchable as the heavens are high and the earth is deep. But God can go that high and that deep. So God already knows your heart. Is this talking about us interacting with other people? I don't know. I know this is super important though. All right, let's keep going. Verse 4, remove the dross from the silver, and a silversmith can produce a vessel. Remove wicked officials from the king's presence, and his throne will be established through righteousness. That's another thing, too. When you get rid of all the corrupt officials, there's no one who's going to try to overthrow you. You don't have to worry about a rebellion. Because it's only people who like care about other people and care about being and enforcing justice and being righteous and want to do good things. So you don't have to worry about the people turning on you. You don't have to worry about your court turning on you. Your advisors won't try to kill you because you remove that, right? You remove the dross from the silver, and a silversmith can produce a vessel. And this is still talking about searching things out. You're removing things. You're looking for something. 6, do not exalt yourself in the king's presence. Makes sense. And do not claim a place among his great men. It's better for the king to say to you, come up here, than for him to humiliate you before his nobles, because you thought you were about that. He's like, look, I'm still the king. All right. You don't want to be put in your place. It's better for him to elevate you. Right. I think this is still a heart posture thing. I think this one is talking about your heart. I think it's talking about your heart and what you wanted. So this is creating me a clean heart, but like in more words. And I think these are ways to measure where your heart is at, right? And look at where your heart is, right? Are you in the presence of other people and you're boasting of a false gift? Is it, wow, okay, there's an example there. There's an example there that was so tangible. Hold on. Come back. It's right there. The best example I can think of right now, or the example that came to my head, is, are you taking credit for someone else's voice and acting like it's yours? Because the king will see that. The king can search the heart. The king can see. And your actions are going to reveal what's in your heart. It's better for you to act like, it's not you on the track. And then it comes out later. Oh my gosh, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. You're amazing. Let's give you this. Let's award you this. Let's talk about this. Come with me because I see your value. Then for you to talk about your own value and they not see it. It's better for people to discover on their own than for you to put it in their face. Oh, where's the rest of that sentence? It's better for you. It's better to find out on your own and you discover just how awesome this person is, because then you'll treat it better and you'll see a vessel. All right. You'll see righteousness. You'll see how amazing this is versus someone puts it in front of your face or you talk about you and people it's not going to compute the same. There's something, it's like us reading the word. And so I didn't say it. I usually say it at the beginning. Don't just hear me read it. You say it too, because there's something different about you saying these words versus hearing someone else say it. It's different when it clicks in you, right? When you accomplish the goal, right? It's like, whoa, that's deep versus someone telling you. Like, so this is an example I brought up a little bit ago, right? It's like your parents tell you the same thing over and over again. I especially saw this. So my dad was a basketball coach. My brothers played basketball. I tried, not for me, right? But my dad was a basketball coach. My dad would say the same thing over and over again, right? So dad is dad and he's a basketball coach. He'd say it. My brother would kind of get it, kind of not. It really wouldn't click. A different basketball coach said it. And it clicked in my brother. It was like, oh, you're saying this. And my dad's like, I've been saying that the entire time. I'm saying that your whole life. It's like, no. But you didn't say it like this. There's something that happens when it becomes real to you. And one of the ways it becomes real to you and clicks in your brain is when you go seek it out yourself. All right. It's different when I find it versus you did it for me. It's different when I pay for it versus you paying for it. I may not treat it with the same respect if you pay for it, but if I pay for it, oh, now it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. All right, it's the greatest thing to ever exist. I think this is talking about your heart. There's something different when you search out the Lord and he reveals something, but he puts it like just out of reach. And then you're walking along, and then you find it and grasp onto it. And it's like, oh, God, you're so cool. You're so amazing. Oh my gosh, what? He's like, yeah, I've had this here the entire time. But now that you see it, well, 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 this is interesting. This is really, really, really interesting. And this is also telling you how to know where your heart is too. Because the Lord's looking at your heart and he's looking at you like you're the greatest thing. The Lord sees you like you're silver. He's looking at you like you're righteous. He's looking at you like you're great. I love this kid. This is my kid. But we don't always see ourselves like that. We don't always see ourselves like he sees us. So when you ask him for a new mind and he removes all the things that you think about yourself or the enemy, all the lies the enemy told you, and you start to see yourself how he sees you, there's an elevation that takes place. There's a mind shift. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Verse 8. What you have seen with your eyes, do not bring hastily to court. For what will you do in the end if your neighbor puts you to shame? This literally correlates to the different verse we've read. But it just made more sense in that other verse we read. It's saying the same thing. But it's not making sense to me right now. Oh, wait. Oh, because it was a court thing. Oh, it was like, don't be, just because you speak first doesn't mean you're right. Oh, go deeper. Go deeper. Search what you've seen with your eyes. Don't just bring it up. Go search it out and make sure it's right. Because what will you do if you looked at it at face value and someone else said, actually, it's deeper than that? And then in front of everyone else, now you're humiliated because it's like, oh, he doesn't do his research. Oh, she doesn't look into things. Oh, she just gossips. Oh, she just looks at it like it's whatever. We can't trust her because she'll just give us the first. She's not going to go deep. This is still talking about searching. Verse 9, if you take your neighbor to court, do not betray another's confidence, or the one who hears it may shame you, and the charge against you will stand. Right? So if you take your neighbor to court, don't give someone else's secrets, right? Oh, wow. This is still going into gossip, but it's like he said, she said of the second to third degree. Because if they hear it, now they're going to charge you. And because you're like operating off of hearsay instead of evidence, it's going to be like, okay, that person goes free, but you're no longer credible. I think it's saying more than that too, but that's where I'm going. So verse 11, like apples of gold in settings of silver, they really stand out and they look even better. Is a ruling rightly given. So when justice is given, it stands out, right? Like an earring of gold or an ornament of fine gold is the rebuke of a wise judge to a listening ear. You correct the right when someone who's willing to listen, and someone who will receive this correction, and you correct them, make it right a wrong that was there, they're going to be like, wow. And then they're going to shine so much more. And you're also going to shine too because you're the one who gave it to them. Right? So that goes with 13, like a snow-cooled drink at harvest time. Oh, a Sprite that's chilled. Or if you're not into Sprite, any drink that's like chilled when it's like hot and you're like ready for it to, it's like, That's what a trustworthy messenger is to the one who sends him, right? He refreshes the spirit of his master like clouds. Oh, no, he refreshes the spirit of his master, right? But in the same breath, like clouds and winds without rain, is one who boasts of gifts that were never given, right? You're boasting, you're talking about stuff that you don't actually have. Because it's still harvest time in this one, right? We're hoping for rain. We're hoping for something cool and refreshing, but instead we got you. And you're here blowing hot air. You're blowing hot air and it's already hot. Versus that one who's listening, who's receiving, who's giving what I need at the time I need it. That's what you want to be. You want to be that person who's giving what is needed at the time that's needed, right? Through patience, a ruler can be persuaded, and a gentle tongue can break a bone, right? Sticks and stones can break bones, so can words. But if it's a gentle tongue, it can break a bone, but it can also reset it and not just leave it in a broken state, right? So 16, if you find honey, eat just enough, right? Too much of it and you will vomit. Seldom set foot in your neighbor's house. Too much of you and they will hate you. This still goes with the king's thing, right? So you also want to be searched out, which is probably why your heart is unsearchable, right? You want to be sought out. You don't want to just keep throwing yourself in front of people, right? Because otherwise they're just going to get annoyed of you and tired of you. But if I have to put in effort to be around you, if I have to put in effort to be with you, it's like, and I know in today's society we don't always do this, but the chase of like a woman and a man. If you're too easy, guys won't respect you, right? And that's just how dudes think. But if you're the kind of woman who they can't just get you, right? You don't just give out on the first time, right? You don't you reveal parts of yourself a little bit at a time. So they keep giving them you're leaving a hook for them to keep coming back to, right? Then they're gonna find you sweet, and then they're gonna be like, wow, I want to be around this all the time, right? Let them want to be around you all the time. Don't be around them all the time, right? Make them want it. Don't just give it. Because it's the honor of kings, or it's the glory of kings to search and to seek. All right? Like right now, this is a puzzle. I am having so much fun. Although there's a slight headache in my eye, I'm having a lot of fun. So don't just like throw yourself out there. This is still about your heart too, because the person who's just throwing themselves out there, there's something wrong. Either you're insecure or you got a lot of pride and you want to be seen. Either way, you want to be seen, right? Be confident in yourself. See yourself how God sees you. And you won't have the need to be seen by people. When you know that God sees you and you know that God is looking at you like you're silver and like you're gold and like when you know that you're the apple of God's eye, you're the gold apple in a setting of silver. You're not going to throw yourself out there, be like, oh, I need people to see me, because you already know that you're seen. And there's a security there when you know that you're seen. You know your worth, you know your value. This is so funny. The dreams I had and the songs that were playing in my head, I woke up and basically the message was, okay, Lord, you see me like a diamond. Oh, you're telling me not to just put myself in front of or you're telling me who not to go after. You're telling me how you see me. Because I heard Diamonds Are Forever, Grown, and a song called Drip. And it's like, without makeup, you still look great, right? You have people are just attracted to you. They're drawn to you. That is so funny. These literally were the songs I woke up in my head this morning. And then this is the chapter we're reading. The Lord is telling you, you're a diamond to him. You're silver to him. You are gold to him. He wants to wear you. He wants to show you off, right? And he wants other people to come find you. right? Yay. This is an identity one. But you know that you're missing something. You know that something's off if you need people to see you. If you need people to see you, wait for the king to call you because the king's heard how great you are. Because somehow through the grapevine, it came through that this person is wise. This person's beautiful. This person's beautiful on the inside. This person is helpful. This person is lovely. This person is so fun to be around. They're funny. They're patient. They're great. They're smart. They may have their weird moments, but hey, I love being around this person. And the king's like, let me go find this person that you're talking about. Okay. So, ladies, this is for you too. Like, don't give too much away in the first meeting, in the first month, in the first year. Keep revealing, keep showing. There's more to me than meets the eye. I'm a transformer, okay? All right, I'm not just a huge robot. I have powers. I can fly. Do you know that Transformers can fly? I was watching the original cartoon with my dad. They're not just land based. And I'm not talking about some of them are like planes. No, I mean literally, they can fly. They have rockets. There's more to them than meets the eye. They're not just on the ground like you think they are. There's more there. Be a transformer. So, anyway, verse 18, like a club or a sword or a sharp arrow, is one who gives false testimony against the neighbor. That's another thing, too. Why are you lying? What's missing there? What don't you know about yourself that you feel the urge to lie about somebody else, to spread rumors about someone else? What's missing? Don't you know that God sees you as so beautiful? 19, like a broken tooth or a lame foot, is reliance on the unfaithful in a time of trouble. Why are you relying on this person when there's someone who loves you so much and sees you as the most precious thing in the universe? Rely on them. If you feel the need to run the man, there's something you're missing and there's something that he wants to give you. Verse 20, like one who takes away a garment on a cold day, or like vinegar poured on a wound. Ooh. Never mind, that's even worse than what I thought it was. I don't know if you ever had hydrogen or alcohol poured on your open cut. Ooh. That's like someone who sings songs to a heavy heart. I'm still curious what kind of songs they're talking about, but the gist remains the same. 21, if your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. Show them just how beautiful you are. If he's thirsty, give him water to drink. Show him just how thoughtful and kind you are. In doing this, Bill, oh my gosh, you'll heap burning coals on his head because chances are he's still going to take it. He's still going to take it. He or she will still take it, right? Or they won't, but then they'll be thirsty and they'll still be hungry. And when they see everyone else receiving, there is a burning there. And at the same time that you're showing your beauty and just being you and being the kindness that you are and the righteousness that you are, because you're a king and you're just, the Lord's going to reward you even more. What? Double whammy. 23. Like a north wind that brings unexpected rain is a sly tongue which provokes a horrified look. Okay, that's saying something different. All right. You're living your best life and all of a sudden it starts raining. Now, I like rain, right? But no one likes being in the rain when they're unprepared. I'm not going to say no one, but typically people don't like being in the rain when they don't have like rain boots or a raincoat or an umbrella. Like I love going out walking in the rain, but I usually have an umbrella. I don't like my hair getting wet. I don't actually like getting wet. But I love being in the rain, but with an umbrella, right? So like a north wind that brings unexpected rain is a sly tongue, that backbiting tongue, which provokes a horrified look. It's like, dude, you what is it? It's a saying, there's a phrase. You shot me out of nowhere. That's not what it is. Drive by. It's not the one I'm looking for, but drive by. That's a drive by. Right? So there's one that the Lord reward you for and will like be great. And then there's one that's a drive by and no one appreciates that. And honestly could bring retaliation. It's 24, better to live on a corner of the roof than to share a house with a quarrelsome wife or husband, right? You don't want strife. You don't want strife. You don't want strife. Patience, gentle tongue. You can speak, come back and speak later. Don't. Once that faucet opens, it's hard to close back, right? If you don't want a quarrelsome relationship, go to the Lord. Don't rely on that unfaithful person in the time that it comes, okay? 25, like to a weary soul, like cold water to a weary soul, is good news from a distant land. You've been walking through the desert and then you receive cold water. Whew. That's what it's like when you get good news, when your when your soul is suffering, right? 26, like a muddied spring or a polluted well are the righteous who give way to the wicked. Oh, stand your ground. Oh, that's why you're not supposed to fall. Oh, yeah, no. They're wicked. All of their stuff is supposed to go to you. Don't bow down to them unless the Lord tells you to do that, because there are certain situations where the Lord is like, be humble, right? Because I'll elevate you. But like, otherwise, no, 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 no. 27. Okay, we're back to 27 and 28. Let's see if it makes sense now. It is not good to eat too much honey, nor is it honorable to search out matters that are too deep. Nope, that didn't help. Nope, nope. 28, like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. 28 makes sense with everything else. 27, nor is it honorable to search out matters that are too deep. What do you mean too deep? Hold on. Okay, we're gonna do something a little different here. All right, so we're still in chapter 20. We're still chapter 25. Oh wait, let me not do it up here. Hold up. We're still chapter 25, but we're gonna read this in a different version because doggone it. Let's try the Amplified Classic. I'm not gonna read the entire thing. That is an ad. I'm reading 27. Okay, let's see. Let's see what 27. This is still chapter 25, verse 27 in the Amplified Classic. We usually read it in the NIV and the KJV, but I'm going to understand what 27 is saying. It is not good to eat too much honey. I get that. So for men to seek glory, their own glory, causes suffering and is not glory. That makes a little bit more sense. I'm still going to read it in a different version. Feel free to look up, and as many versions. This is the same. This is still studying, right? Let's see, glory after glory. Nope. I made you stick with the Amplified Classic. That one made sense. There's an easy to read version? What does that mean? Oh, well, that makes sense. Verse 27, and this is the easy to read version. Never heard of this Bible before. I'm on BibleGateway.com, by the way. So, 27, just as eating too much honey is not good, it is not good for people to always be looking for honor. Ow. Oh, to seek out glory after glory. What did it say in KJV? Okay, so I'm switching back to KJV. All right, this King James Version. All right, so it is not good to eat much honey. So for men to search their own glory, it's not glory. Oh, yeah, it's not honorable to see. Okay, so Coach E said it's not honorable to see your own honor. And I think what that just hit is, how do I say this? Because depending on how I say it, it could have a different connotation. Words are funny. Yeah, it's like never boast or brag on oneself, but it's a little deeper than that, right? It's more like, or at least what I'm getting, it's like going back to the first verse. So I'm back in KJV, by the way. I'm KJV right now, right? So it's the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter, right? Oh Lord, I just had it. Seeking out what God places in front of you, seeking out what the king needs, or what the king has, it's more to gain from that than it is to just go find something to do because you want people to say you look good. Being good because it's good and because that's just honoring your heavenly father, honoring the king, looks better than if I'm being good because I want something out of it. I think that's what it's saying. All right. It's still a heart check. Are you doing this because you want people to say, "Oh, look at him. Let's praise him. Let's honor him. He's the best. She got it going on." Are you doing it for that? Or are you just good because you're a beautiful person? Because you naturally are a gold apple in a setting of silver. When you're good, when you're just being yourself and people honor you and recognize how amazing you are just because you're being yourself, that's 1,000 times better than you doing this to make people notice you. It's still a security thing. All right. If you're seeking out the Lord, you're going to find yourself. All right. If you're seeking out his glory, you're going to figure out who you are. You're going to see yourself how you see him. You're going to see yourself as he sees you. Because, well, that's interesting. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say he hid who you are. But every day we're looking and trying to find who we are. But he already knows who you are because he can search your heart. So when you're seeing that thing that's concealed and you're finding it, it's just becoming all the more real and all the more beautiful. And so it's the same thing with like honey, right? Because remember, we in the last chapter was like, you want honey. Honey is sweet. It's sweet on this side, right? Well, one of the things that makes it so sweet on this side is we're constantly discovering, we're constantly finding, we're constantly Indiana Jonesing without the stealing, right? All right, we're Sherlock Holmes, but without the jerkiness, right? We're constantly seeking and being a detective and finding and having new discoveries like Star Trek. It's constantly a new discovery, right? And a new revelation being shown and being revealed, right? But you don't have to do it. Don't do it just to, it's like the equivalent, it's like the same thing with, I hope I'm not rambling. I hope this makes sense. But it's like, you aren't nice to someone because you're looking for something in return. You're nice to them because you're genuinely nice. You're kind to them because you genuinely want to help people. And the Lord rewards that because that's you being you. You being you will do more for you than you being someone fake. You being boasting of a false gift. All right. Be yourself, but be the you that God made you to be. Because a lot of us are walking around thinking that this is just who I am. This is just how God made me. When in actuality, you haven't searched out who God called you to be. That's not how God made you. You're more beautiful than that. Find who you are, but find who you are by seeking out what he's revealing, that thing that's right out of reach, right? And there's different things in this world that block us and make it hard to see. You know, you're looking at TV and they look like that. Or you're talking to your friends and they have this. But there's more glory that comes when you find what God has called you to be. So this is an identity one. This is a seek out the heart of the Lord, right? This is find who you are, but find who you are in Christ. So hopefully, all of that made sense. I'm putting it back to NIV. I apologize for tomorrow. So hopefully this was helpful. And if you got something completely different, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about this stuff. Because we're seeking, and that's our honor, is to seek. So yeah, until we meet again tomorrow with more. Oh no, I got the fire. I got the yes. Cool. You all have a wonderful day. And if you take nothing out of this, and I'm going to pray, the Lord said pray at the end anyway. And I wonder if he said that specifically. So it's like I have to seek during this one. Because usually I'll pray something at the beginning And it's like, oh yeah, this is flowing. This makes sense. But this one, when he starts it out saying, it's the honor of kings to search out the matter, we really had to dig deep. Ugh. He's intentional. He's very, very, very intentional and funny. So funny. So I'm going to pray. But if you take nothing out of this one, nothing else, know what you should take is, if you take nothing out of this except this, words are hard right now. My goodness. If you take nothing else, take that you are beautiful. Even if you don't feel like it, if you have urges to do things that are not helpful and beneficial, that don't elevate other people, that don't bring glory and honor to yourself, right? Then seek out the Lord so that he can show you who you actually are. You're not a liar. You're not a thief. You're not a murderer. You're not a jerk. That's not who you are. You're not a jerk. You're not a bully. You're not a victim. You're not an injured person. You're not a tortured soul. That's not who you are. Who you are, you're a king. You're beautiful. You stand out and you are accentuated. Better than jewelry. That's who you are. All right? So if you don't see that, if you think you're ugly, if you can't see that, seek out the Lord. Search him out so that he can reveal to you who you are. Okay. If you take nothing else, I know we're at over an hour, right? But if you made it this far, that's what you need to see. All right? That's what you need to do. You need to seek out the Lord. And how do you seek out the Lord? You ask him, hey, what am I? Trust. I did it. It's like, what am I? Why am I? Where am I? How am I? Who am I? Oh, I definitely was asking, who am I? It may not come immediately. It may come immediately, right? He's doing a lot of things quickly right now. So it may come immediately, it may not. But seek him out. Don't just stop after the first week. Don't just stop at the first day. Don't stop at the first hour. Don't stop after the first year. He did a lot for me in like a few months, but I'm a year in and I'm still going. And he's still revealing more and more and more. I thought I was done, but nope, he's still got more. He's showing me more and more and more and more and more. Apparently, I'm a diamond. How great is that? So, Lord, thank you for the treasure hunt. Thank you for the word search. It was definitely enjoyable. It was fun. And I've never, ever, ever read that chapter like that, ever. And I don't know if and maybe other people haven't either. I've heard plenty of verses from there and Proverbs from there, but I've never seen it connect in that way. So I thank you for teaching me something new and showing me something new and revealing something new and showing me how you see me. I'm a fine gold apple in a setting of silver. I stand out. That's who I am. And so I'm so excited. I'm so thankful because you just revealed something new and something deep. All right. And I thank you because while you're teaching me, other people are learning too. And other people are starting to see themselves as how you see them. We're starting to have a desire to seek you out and figure out who you are and what you're saying and how to be good kings and how to be good queens and good rulers. And I thank you because identities are being revealed and hearts are being opened and minds are being renewed and spirits are being righted and created, and pride is being removed. Dross is being removed. I thank you. We honor you. We thank you for the glory and the honor that you bring on us. And we're thankful for this relationship that's not one-sided, but it's back and forth. You're revealing, we're seeking. You're seeking us, and we're seeking you. So until we see you all tomorrow with more, so be it in the name of Jesus. Y'all have a great day. We're not done yet. We still got the rest of Proverbs. But until then, goodbye.